Hey everyone, Charizze here and welcome to our first video of December. Oh, it's the last month of the year already. That also means it's almost time to prepare for our goals and plans for the upcoming year. So in today's video, I'm excited to share with you a 2024 bullet journal setup, not for me, but for one of you, my lovely subscribers who's watching and would love to receive a bullet journal with a yearly setup designed by yours truly. I have collected several dot grid notebooks and most of them were gifted to me. I thought it would be nice to give some of them away. So I hope you watch the video and see if this is something you would like to win. The notebook I chose to customize a 2024 yearly setup with is this Notebook Therapy Tsuki journal in a light blue linen hardcover from their Cloud Dreamland collection. Alright, we're getting started. Of course, we are skipping the introduction page because we don't know yet who's gonna have this, and it would be better to write your name yourself. So we'll begin with the 2024 cover page. I decided to go with a theme for this setup and I hope you like the idea of a butterfly theme. I am using watercolors to paint illustrations. If you also like to recreate this, you can use your preferred coloring tools like brush pens, for example. We started mixing our color palette. We're gonna be using 4 main colors for the wings: peach, lilac, blue-green, and yellow. Very pastel and soft color scheme, and it goes perfectly with the design of the notebook. We will have 4 butterflies on our cover page, and we're painting the wings first with light washes. We want to give the wings a unique variety, so we painted the first butterfly in full peach color, the second with a combination of blue-green and lilac. You can also notice the upper wing is a mix of 2 colors with blue-green on the edges and lilac on the insides. As we paint, we can also add shadowed areas on the lower wings toward the body using more pigment. You can do this immediately by loading your brush lightly so that it doesn't become too watery and takes long to dry. And since the area is small, we can expect the paint to dry quickly on this kind of paper. You can gently drag the color with your slightly dried brush to create a gradient effect. So we also did that to our 3rd and 4th butterflies. Feel free to mix up the colors too on any of the butterflies. There are no restrictions to that. Now the light layers are done. You can add more layers if you'd like to make the colors a bit more saturated. But for this, the muted colors looked great already. So let's paint the body using a mix of Naples yellow, purple, and Van Dyke brown. We are also using this to paint the edges and details of the peach colored wings. As for the lilac and yellow, I just mixed a bit of the Van Dyke brown to them to make them darker. But for the blue-green, I added a darker shade of blue. We want to mirror all the details. This includes the little top corner detail that arches into the wing and the veins. We are not trying to paint perfectly mirrored details. However, we want to try at least make them the same as possible. If there are subtle differences, don't worry about it. You can also paint the wings in different patterns for some variation. Painting the veins in a butterfly's wings is quite simple, but we want to approach it with a gentle hand using the tip of our small round brush. If you have a detailed brush, That would also make it easier to keep the lines thin. On some of the butterflies, I like to make the edges with darker lines and then lighter on the insides to match the gradient effect. Alright, our butterflies are now done. Let's move on to painting some little elements here like flowers and leaves. You can probably see the pencil outline of 2024. So with this as our guide, we are painting little flowers that are kind of peeking through the numbers, and we're just using the same colors we used for the butterflies. We are also adding some twigs of leaves around to complete our illustration. Then it is time to write 2024 using a black brush pen. I'm using this Tombow Fudenosuke to trace the pencil outlines first and fill them in. I chose a simple and classic serif font to write our year. I thought it's eye-catching, and we are also not drawing over the painted butterflies, just the parts that are visible while keeping them in the foreground. Okay, that's pretty much it for this 2024 cover page. I hope you like it. It's very airy, yet not too simple in the eye. But if you like to decorate the empty spaces more, like maybe some scrapbooking paper, I'll leave that up to you. Moving on to the other side of the spread will be for your keys. If you are new to bullet journaling, keys are your set of symbols or signifiers that you can refer to. It helps you quickly note things down and easy to read, making your bullet journal effective and efficient. I used a color printed paper and wrote the title on top. I'll keep it blank for you to create a set of symbols that you'd like to use, and here are some examples you can incorporate here. But again, you are free to use whichever symbols you want. These may even change over time depending on how you use your bullet journal. Alright, that's finally it for the cover and keys spread. Let's flip through the next empty pages to set up a future log. So this is like a yearly overview spread. We are able to put 12 months in this whole spread, 6 months horizontally on top, and 6 months on the center. We are writing the months on these little rectangular boxes and making them colorful using watercolors, and then underneath we are having the mini calendars. The spaces below will be where you can put any future events like birthdays and important appointments. Just above the second row of calendars is where we are adding the future log title. And of course, there has to be butterflies here too, so we start by painting 2 of them on both sides of the title. The first one to the left is with a spread out wings in blue, green, and lilac color combinations. Again, we are just using the same color palette to tie everything together. On the right is a butterfly in a side view. We're combining peach and yellow and dark brown for the details. We are also surrounding them with little leaves and flowers. After we finish painting, we can then write the future log title using the same black brush pen. By the way, I will be listing all the supplies on the description box in case you're interested in any of them. Now that's finally it for this future log spread. We can move on again to the next one, and this is for your 2023 reflections and goal planning spread. The layout was inspired from Amanda Rach Lee's doodle planner. We're drawing large boxes that is then split up into 4 sections. We are coloring the areas where we will be writing some prompts. The titles will be on the top with the same font as well. On the left side is for reflections. I included highlights from 2023, something you learned, what you're grateful for, and what you want to leave behind in 2023. So I only included the prompts for the reflections, and I'm leaving the goals page blank because instead of prompts like what I want to achieve, how I want to feel, who I want to become, and so on, you might want to categorize them into personal, work, financial, etc. So that is also up to you, whichever you want to use. So there will be 4 spaces for them on the right side of the spread, and I hope that is enough. We're just finishing up this spread with butterflies on the header, small ones on the middle, and bigger ones on the edges. What I like about having this as a theme is that you can do different designs, so it does seem repetitive in a sense, but also doesn't feel like it. I personally love the bigger butterflies we're painting on the sides. We are doing a monarch style design where there are white spots on their wings. I'm using a white gel pen to draw them after the paint has fully dried. Then we are also adding these small twigs of leaves. Okay, that completes this reflections and goals spread. Let's move on to the next one again. This page will be for an inspirational quote. It's always a nice thing to add in the beginning pages to uplift us. But before writing that, let's paint a group of butterflies on this area. The color scheme of the illustrations are feminine, but I know guys who love butterflies and pastel colors and like to bullet journal, so this giveaway is inclusive of everyone. And while we paint the butterflies, I think it's also a great time to talk about how you can enter. The steps are very simple. All you need to do is give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment telling me one of your goals this 2024. It's open internationally, and the winner will be randomly picked and announced on my community post next Sunday, December 10th. I will be sending this notebook myself through our local post office, so I look forward to reading your entries. Now for the quote, I chose to write, "You do not wake up and become a butterfly. Growth is a process." Alright, on the page next to it is a little space to write something to yourself this coming new year. So I took the same colored paper, cut it into this rectangular shape, and rounded the corners. I'm writing "Dearest Self" in a script font style using a black brush pen. I didn't realize immediately that the brush pen bleeds through the copy paper and wrote on top of the notebook page, so there were marks on it. But it's an easy fix by gluing another paper on it. I happen to have these handmade papers too from Notebook Therapy, so I picked this one with some purple leaves on it, and it has a nice texture. I glued that on the whole page, and the colored paper on top attached with a simple grid washi tape. You can change this to something else too, that's why I didn't glue the entire back of it on the handmade paper. We have arrived to our last spread of this 2024 yearly setup. It is a memories spread. I've seen several people including this in their beginning pages, so I thought it would be fun to include them as well here. So this is like a gallery of memorable photos you have for each month. In terms of the layout, we drew 6 boxes, 3 on both pages, and stamped the months using the alphabet wooden stamps. So I'm only including 6 months here because I've used Notebook Therapy before, and they usually last me 6 months to fill if you also like to include a cover, calendar, trackers, monthly and weekly pages, and review spreads. And that is why I put this last on the setup we're making today, so that you can have the rest of the pages if you want to add another page of this memory spread, or whatever spreads you might want to add later. But I've also seen some people being able to use it for the entire year, so that also really depends. Back to our spread, we wrote the title on top and decorated the bottom with a colored paper with ripped edges. On the corners, we painted bigger branches of leaves that are mirroring each other. The butterflies are making their appearance too, just below the title to fill that space. We are painting 4 of them in different sizes and colors. So yeah, this is a really nice place to put your favorite memory in the form of pictures, and even more nostalgic when you look back at it years later. I don't really put something like this in my own journal, but maybe because I'm not fond of taking pictures of myself anymore. Anyway, that finally completes this 2024 bullet journal setup for one of you. So if you like what we did here, remember to join the giveaway by following the steps I mentioned earlier. Thank you all so much for your support. I'm really happy to be able to do this and give back to our little community. If you're setting up yearly bullet journal spreads for yourself, I hope you found some new ideas and layouts, and most of all, have fun! Thank you for watching today's video. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon in my next one. Bye!